was lots of great riders in the 70s. You know, the 70s had just an enormous amount of talent, and not everyone could be number one. However, that doesn't mean that the people below number one wasn't very good. As a matter of fact, they were excellent. These people were just solid riders. And because of the excitement of motorcycles in the day, there was lots and lots of speedway riders. And one of the riders was one of my favorite riders, and that was RUBEN Benitez. Do you remember RUBEN Benitez? RUBEN Benitez! And he was a very good motorcycle rider. He started off being an excellent motocross rider. He was racing all over Southern California and having great success. He was a hardcore motocrosser, and he switched for some reason to Speedway. And he was racing the circuit, and he wasn't the very best rider of the day of the 70s. However, he was a solid rider. He competed with the very best of the riders, Rick Woods, and all these other top riders. He was right there mixing it up. He was a good handicap racer. RUBEN was just a hardcore speedway rider. He wore those black and yellow leathers. I think it was like K&N or something like that. I like that color, black and yellow. It's my favorite. And when I was just a young boy, like age 12, I used to go to the pits every Friday night after the Speedway at Costa Mesa. And I would get autographs of a lot of the top riders. And some of the riders were real nice, and the other riders, some of them really were busy and they didn't really want to talk to you. But RUBEN Benitez was one of those riders that always wanted to talk to you. He was one of those guys that just was a good guy. He always signed my autograph and on my program, on the Speedway program. And he was just a good guy. And RUBEN was kind and sweet, and he was always smiling. He was friendly. And as a result, as a little boy, I was always rooting for him. And on those few occasions, 2 or 3 that he won the handicap main, I was so happy, or he got close to winning. And it was so exciting because RUBEN was definitely a fan favorite of mine and maybe some other people's, but he wasn't really a very sort of popular rider. He wasn't a rider that everyone sort of cheered for, but I cheered for him. And I just enjoyed watching him race because he was talented and he was nice. And every time RUBEN went out, you never knew that if he was going to win because he had that ability. But sad to say, in that day, there was so many riders with amazing talents, amazing ability. It was so difficult to be consistent, to be a winner like Mike Bass was. There was only a few Mike Bass, and he was the only one. So behind that, they had, you know, Rick Woods, and then Bill Cody, and then they had Slide and Sonny Nutter, and just a list of all these guys. We did a show on Stevie Nutter, and there was just a myriad of good speedway riders behind RUBEN Benitez, around RUBEN Benitez, and racing RUBEN Benitez. But today we honor the professionalism, the skill, the good man, and we're friends today still on Facebook. We chat every once in a while. RUBEN's a good guy. He lives up near Mammoth Mountain, I think in Bishop area. And he's just a good guy. And today we want to honor the name of RUBEN Benitez, the amazing speedway rider and great human being, RUBEN Benitez.